Greetings and salutations, Earthlings. Zube here, and I'm going to do a random collective reading. But first, I'm going to bless us. Bless you. Bless me. And let us begin. This reading is general. Take what resonates and leave what does not. Don't force it to fit you. If something is not vibing with you, and that includes me, you don't have to take it. You don't have to like me. You're free to if you would like. Anyway, if you are interested in a personal reading, astrology, or tarot, my information is down below. I do sessions over Zoom or in person if you are in the San Antonio area. All right, let's go. I meditated right before this, and I was like, I like to ask, is there a message for today? And the message I got was, make it fun. So, whatever. And I have a feeling that make it fun is because we might be experiencing not fun stuff. So I'll just tell you a quick, story, and then I'll pull the cards. But I do this thing where there have been periods of time in my life where things have been really, really difficult. And I play like a game where I create myself as like a researcher in my mind, and I am researching me in my life, and I'm taking notes and I'm studying and examining and being like, oh my gosh, look at how Teresa responded to this situation. Anyway, it's kind of funny because you can't half-ass do it. I mean, you really have to get into the theatrics in your mind of it. But it makes it like, I love researching myself because nobody gives more of a shit about me than I do. And I feel like once I realized that, I don't mean that in a selfish fashion. I mean, once I figured that out, I became less selfish because I was taking care of me as opposed to having other people take care of me, if that makes sense. Anyway, well, I have a big glare. All right, so let's pull some cards. Make it fun. Because we might be in our feelings. This is the internal card. Queen of Cups. Cups are our emotions, unconditional love. The Queen of Cups she's nurturing, but this sometimes means that we need to nurture ourselves. She can be over emotional as well. Seven of Wands is the external card. So if you're new here, what I do an internal and then an external. But the Seven of Wands is standing up for yourself, holding boundaries, feeling like there are a bunch of things coming up at you, and like, look, they're all coming from below. So with the card of the Seven of Wands, it implies that we are in a position of power, but it's important to hold a boundary. We don't want to go into attack mode. This guy isn't attacking anyone. And the purpose of all of this is because we might be processing some emotions internally. All right, and then I pull a card. Oh, wow. The High Priestess is in the higher perspective. So I put another card here above, and this is, what does God see, or the higher perspective? And we got the High Priestess. The High Priestess is actually the card of the goddess. This is where we go within. Whether it's through meditation or journaling or just, it's kind of funny because I was talking about how I do that thing where I'm a researcher researching myself, and that helps me to get through and process really difficult situations, which we could be in here. And the highest position is always to learn the lesson. So I find when I'm doing this whole internal exercise, I'm able to like take the lesson out of it much more easily. And the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, and it doesn't matter if you're a guy watching this or whatever, the High Priestess is mysticism. It's the feminine principle of like going within, where we go into like the womb of creation, and really that's what the goddess represents. The goddess is just that going into the wildness of what's inside. And the Queen of Cups, because the cups are water, this is like our emotions, our intuition. She is also a mystical woman, or a card of mysticism, but being really in touch with our emotions. And when we're doing this, like maybe we're feeling really empathic, empathetic, we might want to hold a boundary because we're getting dragged into other people's emotions and feelings psychically. And the goddess card, I see this as like our own inner goddess. Again, doesn't matter if you're man, woman, whatever, but this can also represent that like there is a goddess with you, or the principle of the goddess, or whatever you believe it is around you. There could be downloads coming in, there could be, but like you've got to separate yourself so that you can get with that. Make it fun. How does make it fun play into all this? Wow. All right, that's kind of funny. We have the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords is stuck in our fucking head. She's surrounded by swords. Swords are air. That's the mental realm. This is our mind, our thoughts, our words, our communication. She's blindfolded. This is victim mentality. This is thinking there's no way out, feeling stuck, but that's because you're trapped in the mind. There's no way out when we are stuck in our mind. It's kind of like if you're chewing on something mentally, stop chewing on it. Stop ruminating, because that's not how you're going to find a way out. I was recently wondering, like, well, I like to think about things, like I have to think about things. How do I know if I'm ruminating or if I'm thinking about things for good reason? And the answer came to me later in a video, and I can't remember what video it was, but I was like, oh my God, I was just wondering about this. You're ruminating if it doesn't feel good. So if you're thinking about something and it's making you feel worse, you're ruminating on it. That doesn't get anything accomplished, because we're not solution based when we're ruminating. But when we are thinking about something and maybe interpreting what is the lesson from this thing that I'm experiencing, and it has something to do, I think I heard the word prefrontal, that kind of brain shit. Like as it makes a difference on where it is happening in your brain. Rumination, basically, and then being like solution oriented. They happen in two different places. But ruminating, easy, doesn't feel good. It's kind of like, I remember when I was pregnant with my first, with my daughter, I asked the doctor, like, how do I know? Because I was having Braxton Hicks. And I was like, how do I know if I'm having real contractions? And they said, because you can't talk when you're having a real contraction, right? And why am I thinking of that? And it was really true. Like when I was having real contractions, I would literally stop mid-sentence when I was having one. You'll know when you know. And when you're solution based, or like, when you're doing good things with your fucking brain, like you know it. When it is a tool to utilize to move you further, then that's a good thing. When it is a tool that is being a weapon that is being used to attack you and make you feel like shit, then that's a bad thing. Anyway, but look, all of that to say, she has on a blindfold. She can't see the future, but if she would quiet her mind, she would figure out she can wiggle free. The story behind the card is that she's only loosely bound. She could wiggle out and then remove the blindfold and walk out. She thinks she's trapped, but she's not trapped. There's an opening where she can escape. So there's that. And the Ace of Swords came out with it. The Ace of Swords is a breakthrough, a mental clarity, a new way of thinking, new ideas, new beginnings, like start over, like freshen your mind. Let me do one of these. It's like, I think it might be that you have to like lather, rinse, repeat. Maybe you go back to ruminating again and again, and you just have to continue to redirect. It's the same thing with a habit. I think in the last video I was talking about how I'm working on breaking the habit of burping out loud. And it was really difficult, but I'm finally starting to get the hang of it. You guys, I'm embarrassed to admit how long it's been taking me to just not burp with my mouth open. I think it comes more easily in public, but I want to do it even by myself, you know, so that I'm not like just ripping out belts in front of my family and all that. Why? Because I fucking feel like it. There was a time when I didn't feel like being polite anymore because, you know, whatever, growth. I was growing through some shit. Okay. We got the past, releasing, rebirth, and spring. And so I listened as my soul told me to let the past go so that I may awaken to how much I have grown. These cards are really cool. Let me grab the book for this one. But yeah, what was I saying? It's like we're growing. We have to let the past go. If we're just chewing on something that happened over and over again and it's getting us nowhere, we've got to think forward. We've got to remember that with our thoughts, we are creating the future. So if we continue to chew on and just stay stuck with the past. When I was a kid, I used to get constipated, imagine that. And my mom would give me prunes, and I hated prunes. And I would chew on them forever because I was afraid to swallow them, which meant I was just stuck chewing on this stupid prune for like even longer. You know, it made it worse. I have lots of stories today. It's story time. So number 6, we have the past. Okay. Huh. Oh my gosh. I'm going to read the whole thing. I wasn't going to, but I just glanced at it and it's like, yeah, basically that's what I love about Oracle cards. I mean, tarot is fucking awesome. I love when I use an Oracle card and it basically punctuates the tarot card in a way because or the tarot cards, because they tell the story. It's just more confirmation. Spring season of the soul, less mind, more heart, less thinking, more being. This is a sign of rebirth, a positive omen of renewal, and a reminder that it is time to move on from whatever it was, from whatever it is, a relationship, a dark night of the soul, a psychological limitation, a challenge, growing pains, or even just general life stagnation. A change is about to happen or wants to happen, but you may not be letting it. Even if it's at a subconscious level, your soul is reaching out to you. Can you feel it? Can you hear it? It is time to let go now. It is time to trust you have overcome a winter of sorts or are about to. It has been harsh in its lessons, but it is no longer serving you. You have already learned what you were meant to. There is no need to continue overanalyzing, holding on to, or ruminating on this winter. I was literally just talking about ruminating. How funny, because I don't feel like that's a real common word. Um, you just need to channel your energy in a new direction. Where will you channel this free energy? The seasons are changing within you, whether you want them to or not. Are you resisting because you are too in your head? Your soul is blooming from all the rain, pain in parentheses, that you alchemized into power, but you have yet to see the garden that has grown within you. Everything that you have transformed within yourself, wisdom, grace, resilience, and shedding of skins. Not everything needs to be mentally examined. Sometimes the life source within you just flows without needing your conscious attention. Sometimes we just bloom naturally with the gentle guidance of spirit at our backs. Sometimes our heart is the one that needs to lead. Yeah, combine meditation and visualization upon waking or whenever you feel called to. It could just be a moment of your day. Imagine the spring within you. You are walking through the garden of your soul. The last snow of winter is melting, and the sun is warm on your skin. You are walking away from a cold, dark winter, ready to embrace the changing season within you. So make it fun. It to me, this is like maybe we're really stuck on something we have. The 8 also is towards the end. You know, it's like maybe we've overcome something or we've moved through something, but we're still like keeping it in our heads, and not everything needs to be mentally examined. I remember thinking this when I went to rehab, or then when I came out and I was going to counseling and doing therapy and blah, 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 and all that. And it got to a point where I was like, ugh, I don't want to talk about the past anymore. I want to like move into the future. But I had to get there. And I think this is a reminder that we can get there, where it's like, meh, I don't care what the fucking point of that was. Like, if I've taken the lesson out of it, or if like if I feel good thinking about something, I'm like, I learned a lot right there. Then that's okay. But this just turning things over and over again in our mind is kind of useless. So, talk to your brain as though it is a child, because you are the master of your mind, and say, all right, I see you, I hear you, thinking about that. Let's move on to thinking about things that are actionable, taking actionable steps or whatever. Anyway, I gotta go. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day on Earth. Peace. Namaste.